everybody, it's great to see you virtually if we can't be together on our mats. So I'm glad to be able to offer this next 60-minute flow for you. So it's been so beautiful out, so I thought that we would focus on some of our sun salutations. So we're going to do our sun A, B's, and C's today, and then balance it out with some work on the floor towards the end of our time together. So let's get started in child's pose. So taking your knees nice and wide, big toes to touch, just getting into a nice comfortable spot. We're gonna really start just kind of grounding in and focusing on our breath. So as we settle in, take a nice big inhale, allowing it to fill up your back, coming through your spine, opening up. And then your exhale, coming down, settling in, forehead down to the earth. Releasing your shoulders, your hips. Big breath in. And nice long exhale out. Using this time to just listen to your breath here, letting everything else just move away. The next 60 minutes are just for you and for your body and for your breath. Big inhale. Nice long exhale out. You can stay here with your breath coming in and out of your mouth as you just settle in and ground down. Or you can begin to seal your lips closed and take that breath in through your nose. Allowing it to fill and hit the back of your throat, getting the nice audible vibration. And then just nice and slowly as just it came in, coming out of your nose, coming out of your nostrils, exhale. Coming into that Ujjayi breath. Again, just taking some moments here to just listen to that vibration, leaving everything else to the side, focusing on that breath or maybe another thought or feeling that's coming to you that you want to carry with you for the next 60 minutes. Big inhale. And nice long exhale. While we're sitting here in our child's pose, let's continue to ground down. And we're going to walk our hands over to the side of our mat. So you take them over to the left side of your mat. Just kind of just walking them over. Getting a nice little side body stretch, keeping the crown of your head down to the earth. Keeping that opposite hip engaged into the earth, so you're feeling that nice side body stretch in through your ribs and through your hip. Big breath in and out. You can slowly walk those hands back towards center and then take them over to the other side. Nice side body stretch to the side. Again, making sure that hip stays engaged into the mat so you're not kind of lifting that up, staying nice and close to the earth. Big breath in and out. One more inhale to fill up. And exhale, taking those hands back towards center. One more round. And then nice and slowly, you're going to meet in our tabletop. So you just come out of your child's pose, just kind of nice and rolling up. Sending your hands underneath your shoulders. Sending your fingers nice and wide, like starfish. Knees, hips distance. And we'll move through our cat and cow, kind of opening up our spine. So we'll start with our cow, big breath in. Taking your gaze forward, chin up to the ceiling. Contracting in our shoulder blades. Hips up to the sky. And then exhale through cat, taking that chin down to the chest, releasing the neck. The spine up to the side, belly button follow. Exhale. Inhale through cow. And exhale through cat. I invite you to close your eyes here and just move with your breath. So on your inhale, stretch out that back. When you reach the top of that breath, let it go into the opposite movement. Maybe staying here with cat and cow, maybe opening up to C curves, or bending into some other joints that might feel good. Exploring for what your body's calling for you. Again, with your eyes closed and your focus on your breath, see what that might look like, it might feel like. Two more rounds of breath to explore. Big breath in. And exhale out. We'll come back to that neutral spine. So placing your hands back underneath your shoulders, hips, knees, hips distance here. We're going to open and continue to open up our shoulders. We're going to take our left hand up nice and high. Big breath in. And then thread the needle on this side, taking your arm all the way through, ear and cheek down to the mat. Exhale, just hold, pausing here for a moment on the exhale. And then inhale, rising back up, big breath in. Feel that energy through your fingertips. Exhale, back down to the earth. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale down, and then this time we're going to hold and rest here. So taking that cheek down to the mat, exhale, inhale, stay for the exhale. On your next inhale, unwind, and we'll come back to that neutral spine. Maybe a cat and cow in between. Let's take it over onto the other side. So big breath in, fill up. Feeling that energy through your fingertips. And then taking it through palm facing up, cheek and ear down to the earth. Exhale just for a moment. Inhale, rise back up. And then thread the needle again. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, thread the arm through. This time we're going to stay and hold for the exhale. Big inhale. And release. On your next inhalation, let's unwind. And coming back to that neutral spine. And we're going to push through those hands. We're going to hover our knees, maybe tucking our toes here if you haven't done so already. So we're just hovering our knees here. And then we'll push our hips up nice and high for our first down dog. So for our first down dog, have some fun exploring here. Bending into your knees, pedaling it out. Moving into your hips. Big inhale. Hips up high. Big inhale. Exhale, we're going to bend your knees, look towards the front of your mat. We're going to tiptoe all the way up to the front of our mat, nice and slow. Keeping our feet hips distance and coming into a ragdoll. So you can keep your hands down to the earth and just release your head, shaking it out. Or grab opposite elbows. You can bend your knees a whole lot here. We're just kind of warming up, getting release into that back, but just sway that head out side to side. A few more rounds of breath just to explore here. Maybe pendulum swing. Nodding your head and shaking it out. Big breath in. Nice long exhale. And as you inhale, you can release that bind. Just kind of slowly coming up. One vertebrae at a time. Filling up with breath, sinking into your hips, maybe rolling your shoulders back. We'll take our arms up all the way up to the sky, filling up with breath. Inhale. And then hands through heart center. And then coming down to our Tadasana, down to our mountain pose. Again, feeling that top of our crown, rising up high, strengthening in through our arms, and through our legs, through our feet. Big breath in. And big breath out. Big breath in, fill up. Now taking it all the way down to the earth for our forward fold. Exhale, release. Now we're going to come halfway up to a nice flat back, placing our hands onto our shins and taking our gaze over the edge of our mat. And then forward fold, release. Bend those knees again, coming up nice and slow, just like we did before. Filling up with breath. Hands through heart center and release. Inhale, rise up, upward salute. This time we're going to take a nice bind with our hands. So take a nice Jupiter bind here. We're just going to continue to open up our side body. And take a nice bend over to the side. Keeping our chest open nice and wide, grounding down through our hip and our opposite foot. Big breath in. And hold for the exhale. Inhale through center. And take that bend over to the other side. Again, nice. Keeping that chest open, taking that gaze up to the sky, up to the ceiling. Grounding down. Inhale, rise up. And then forward fold, release down to the earth. Halfway lift, breathing in. And forward fold. Now this time we're going to plant our hands down and step back to a nice high plank. Holding here, big breath in and out. Feeling that core engage, pushing through the backs of our heels, big breath in. And on exhale, we're going to slowly come down to the earth, bending into our shoulders, letting our hips rest down, unwinding our toes to release our tops of our feet to the earth. Crown down, exhale. Keeping our hands right here underneath our shoulders, we're going to lift our chest up for our baby Cobra, using that strength, contracting our collarbones here, using that core, big inhale. And exhale, crown back down to the earth. Inhale, rising back up to our baby Cobra. Maybe this time taking your hands up off the ground, so you're just really focusing in on that rib cage here. Big inhale. And release down. Let's push all the way through a Cobra. So plant those hands down, lift all the way back up. Inhale, get that nice expansion in your back. Let's hold here for the exhale. Big breath in. Now tuck those toes, you can come up through your table. And we'll meet in our down dog. Inhale. And exhale. Big breath in, hips up nice and high. Heels down to the earth. Big inhale. Let's come up to our tippy toes now. So kind of just rolling up high. We're going to come back up to that high plank that we were before. So just kind of like rolling forward through, maybe even coming a little bit further forward here and holding. Exhale. Big breath in. And then push back, down dog. Heels into the earth. Inhale, rise up on those tippy toes. Let's kind of roll forward again to that nice high plank. Big inhale. Push back, down dog. Big inhale. Bend those knees and let's tiptoe all the way to the front of the mat. This time we're going to meet right in our flat back. So again, taking those hands to your shins, looking up over the edge of your mat, expanding through that neck, big breath in, and forward fold, release. Bend those knees, coming up all the way nice and high, big fill up. And then hands into heart center. Let's take it back down to the earth, filling up with breath on our inhale. Let's take a nice swan dive down this time, forward fold. Halfway lift, filling up with breath. Planting your hands down, stepping back to that plank. We're going to hold here and then release to down dog. 2 breaths in and out. Big breath to your knees. We're going to come up nice and slow to our warrior one on the right. Coming forward, pinky edge of the mat here, hips facing forward, right arm up nice and high. Big inhale. Exhale out. Another big breath in. Again, hips facing forward, settling into that warrior pose. Releasing and relaxing into your shoulders. We'll actually take a bind here, so grabbing a hold behind your back here, take a nice bind, opening up your chest. You stay here, maybe even take a nice gentle gaze and back bend, pushing into that front leg. And then we'll humble our warrior on the right. Right shoulder, release your head, exhale. Big breath in and out. Big breath in. You can release that bind, coming back up through your warrior one. Planting your hands back down to the earth. Pivot that foot, step back to plank. Now this time when you come down just halfway or all the way back down to your cobra, inhale through, up dog. Push back, down dog. Let's take that over onto the other side. Left leg comes in through, warrior one on the left. Inhale to rise. Again, kind of facing those hips nice and forward here. Pinky edge toe of that back foot. Big breath in. Exhale out. Big in breath in. We'll take that bind again here on this side, maybe just taking that clasps with one finger over to the right or to the left, opening up those shoulders. Receiving that gaze up to the ceiling. Big inhale. And then humble your warrior. Again, taking that shoulder inside of that knee. Release your head and neck. Inhale. And exhale. One more round of breath. And release. Coming back up through that warrior one. Inhale to rise. Release those shoulders. And then move through your flow that you've created, placing your hands down, pivoting those throughs, moving through your plank, taking it halfway down or all the way, inhaling through your cobra or up dog, and then pushing back down dog. 2 breaths in and out. Another round, breath in and out. Let's bend those knees. We're going to walk, step, or hop, meeting at the front of our mat into that flat back. Forward fold. Let's come back up to that nice flat back. Forward fold, release. This time we're going to come up to our chair pose, so Utkatasana, bending into chair pose, so bending into our knees. Sitting down nice and low into our hips, making sure we can still see all 10 toes. We can kind of shake those toes here. Sitting down. You can take your hands out in front of you, heart center, or up nice and high. Taking them up nice and high, you want to make sure you're releasing those shoulders. Big breath in. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths, so take your time settling in. Inhale. And release. One more big breath in. And then forward fold, release. Flat back, inhale. Plant your hands down, step back through your plank, and then move through your flow. We'll meet in our down dog. You can always skip the push-up and just meet back in down dog. We'll add our warrior sequence into our sun B, taking 2 breaths here in our down dog to begin. And out. One more round. Starting on the right-hand side, right foot forward, warrior one, big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Big breath in. Plant those hands back down to the earth, pivot that foot, step back to that plank, and then move through your flow. Creating some heat with our vinyasas here. Or just giving them all together and meeting in down dog. 2 breaths in and out. One more. Left leg comes forward, warrior one on left. Focusing those hips facing forward, sinking down into those knees, rise up, sending this energy up through your fingertips. Big breath in and settle. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, hands to meet the earth, pivoting back and flowing through. Whatever that might look like for you. Meeting in our down dog for 2 breaths. In and out. In and out. Bend those knees, walk, step, or hop, front of the mat, flat back, inhale. Release to the earth, forward fold. Utkatasana, chair pose, holding here for 3. Bending into those knees, feeling those thighs engaged, holding into those glutes for 2. Big breath in, and then forward fold, release. Flat back, fill up. Plant your hands down and vinyasa. Sitting back through your flow. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll come back down to our mat for our child's pose, sending those hips down to the earth, knees nice and wide, big toes to touch. Crown down to the earth. Come back to that breath, exactly where we began. Feeling the energy you've created, the heat, the strength in your heart, the power of your breath. Fill up. And release down. Staying here, grounding back down into the earth for 3 more breaths. Maybe rolling your head side to side, or even taking those hands back off to the right or left of your mats for some more side body stretches. Whatever your body needs, just take the time to allow it to fill up and release. Big breath in and out. 1 more round. Feel free to stay here in your child's pose for as long as you need. If you're ready for some more movement, we're going to move into our sun seas. So we're going to come up into our down dog. May also want to grab some blocks for this, since we're going to be in some low lunges. So they're awesome, especially during our sun seas. So just staying here, pushing back up through that down dog. Again, pedaling out. That feels good. Hips up nice and high. We're going to start by bending our knees and walking up and meeting in our flat back. Forward fold, release. All the way up to the sky, upward salute. Hands through heart center, release. Inhale to rise. Swan dive down, taking up a whole lot of space. Forward fold. Flat back, inhale. And forward fold. Now this time we're going to grab a hold of our blocks and place them on the side, and taking our right foot back to a nice low lunge. So stepping our right leg back, exhale. We're going to keep our fingertips either onto our blocks or down to the heels, and we're going to just reach back with our right leg and just kind of opening up our chest. So just kind of that up dog chest, big breath in. Stay here for the exhale. We're going to take a nice easy twist here, so you can take one of your blocks, taking your right hand down to the earth, and then opening up on the left side. Nice easy twist. Big breath in. Coming back down through our lunge, low lunge, taking our blocks off to the side, taking our opposite foot to meet back for our plank hold here. Big breath in. Now taking our knees down to the earth. Move over to the side here. Taking your knees down to the earth from your plank here. We're going to come into kind of our caterpillar. So kind of taking our chest and chin down to the mat. Breathing in through here and then coming up in through our Cobra. Big breath in. And then tucking those toes and coming back through down dog. Now we're going to take our opposite leg forward here. So this time our left leg is going to come forward back into that low lunge. You can grab again, hold those blocks, nice big breath in. And then we'll take our right foot to meet our left, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, release. Let's come back all the way up. Big breath in, rising up. And then hands into heart center. Inhale to rise. Swan dive down, taking up all that time, all that space. Forward fold, exhale. Flat back, breathe in. Forward fold, release. You can grab a hold of those blocks again. Now this time we're going to take our left leg back to that nice low lunge again. So taking a nice low lunge here, big breath in, using those blocks, just kind of settling in, feeling that strength, opening up that chest, big inhale. Stay for the exhale. We'll take that nice easy twist on this side. So again, taking a block or just coming all the way down to the earth with your left hand. And then twisting open with the right, big breath in, rise up. Stay for the exhale. Make sure you're pushing through that left heel. Big breath in. And coming back down, exhale. Moving those blocks off to the side. Step that right foot back to that plank. Holding here through your core. Dropping those knees down. And again, now taking that chest and chin down to the earth. And then moving up through your Cobra. Big breath in. And then push back, down dog. Big breath out. Big inhale. And exhale, let's take our right foot forward. This time for that low lunge onto the opposite side. Big inhale. And left leg comes to join the right. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, fill in. Forward fold, release. Bend those knees coming up nice and high. And then back through heart center. Inhale to rise. And exhale to fold. Flat back, breath in. Forward fold, release. And we're going to move on here to our crescent. So we're going to step back with our right leg. Now this time we're going to stay high. So we're going to come into a nice crescent lunge. So coming up nice and high, you can take your time coming onto your foot here. Again, right leg coming back here and then coming up high. So you're coming up high onto your legs. This time, taking a nice wide stance. Big breath in. Arms up to the sky. Relaxing into those shoulders. And then we're going to take a nice high twist here. So just big breath in. Taking your right arm forward, your left arm just kind of opening up. And we're just going to hold here. You can keep your gaze out to the side or maybe begin to take it back, looking back over into your left arm. Big inhale. And exhale. One more big breath in. And then the exhale, we're going to come back into that crescent lunge. And then we're going to open up to a warrior two. So just kind of taking that shift from the hips to the forward to the side. Taking that foot maybe out a little bit further out to the side for your warrior two. Big breath in. Pushing back in through that leg. We're going to now come into a nice reverse triangle. So straightening that front leg, taking a nice opposite arm up and over for a nice side body stretch. For a nice reverse triangle. Big breath in. And then coming into side angle on this side. So forearm coming down to the thigh and then arm coming up and over. Again, nice stretch here. You can take it through your fingertips all the way down to your side body. Lots of options in your extended side angle. Staying here, coming in through a bind. Holding here. Come back, unwind through that warrior two. Placing your hands back down to the earth, pivoting your feet and stepping back. Moving through your vinyasa. And then meeting back in that down dog. 2 breaths to reset. Big inhale. And exhale. We're going to take that crescent sequence over onto the other side. So now we're going to take our right leg coming up forward into a crescent lunge onto this side. Again, taking a nice wide stance in your crescent lunge. So we're coming up nice and high, bending into the fist, pushing through that back leg. Inhale to rise up, hips facing forward. Take a moment to settle here. Now we're going to take that nice high twist today. So just coming in here and then coming open up. So we're going to open up, sending that right arm back this time and just opening up your chest. Finding that gaze that fits your body again, pushing through that leg here. Finding that strength in your thigh, kind of scissoring your inner thighs together to give you some more stability and opening up. Big breath in. And out. One more round. Now coming all the way around, cartwheeling, opening up to that warrior two. So again, kind of opening up, shifting those hips from the side, from forward now to the side, maybe extending out that stance by wiggling that back foot back a little bit here. Just coming into that warrior two. Settle in with your breath. And then we're going to straighten that front leg and take a nice reverse triangle, taking that opposite hand up. Get a nice little side body stretch here from fingertips all the way down. And then moving into that side angle, so I'm bending back into that front knee, arm coming down, palm up, and then opposite arm up and over. And again, having some fun on this side, so whether it was just staying here in your extension, or taking that bind around the back, maybe a half a bind or a full bind, whatever it is that you need. Just want to make sure that you're continuing to opening up that chest, so you're not kind of collapsing down here with that, so whatever it is, and not putting a ton of pressure onto that forearm here. 2 rounds. One more round of breath. Coming back through your warrior two, and then cartwheeling back down to the earth, pivoting those feet and moving through your vinyasa. We'll meet in those down dogs for 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Ooh. One more big breath in. Let's bend those knees and walk, step, or hop. We'll meet up at the front of our mat and that halfway lift. Breathing in. Forward fold, release. We're going to come back into our chair pose. So we've been here before, so we know exactly where we're going. We're going to bend into our knees and feeling our thighs engaging into our glutes, pulling and zipping up our core. Arms starting up here, the higher out in front of us. Settling in, finding our space, finding our balance here. Big inhale. Now we're going to take our hands into our heart center, because we're going to turn this into a nice twist here. So taking your hands into heart center, coming down a little bit closer, pivoting forward, and we're going to start over on the right hand side. So taking that twist, big breath in, and then twisting over, taking that elbow outside of that knee, bending into your knees, again making sure they don't come forward, and making sure that opposite knee isn't kind of jetting out and forward in front of you too. It's going to want to kind of come forward there, and then use that engagement that you have in your hands here, keeping those palms into heart center and pushing through to really open up your shoulders, maybe opening up your wings here, taking a gaze up to the ceiling or down to the earth, settling in, twisting on your inhales, exhaling, sinking a little bit lower in your exhales. One more big breath in, and then forward fold, release, let it go. Nice. Let's toe heel those feet out so we can take a nice wide-legged forward fold. We're going to actually grab our big toes with our peace fingers and just let our head hang heavy. Bend those knees, rock side to side. You can come into an on your next inhale into a nice flat back. And then push those elbows out to the side so you can really make a little bit more space for your torso, for your neck, for your head. To go. 2 more rounds of breath to release. To release the bind in your feet, toe heeling your feet back together. Slowly rising up, big inhale. Up to the inhale, fill up. And then down to the earth, that forward fold. Flat back. Forward fold, exhale. Back up to chair, back up to Uttanasana. We've been here again before. You're gonna take that twist over to the other side. So settling in, taking those few breaths, just settling in, finding that space, finding where you feel it most comfortable. Bring those hands into your heart center, pivoting forward and taking that twist over to the other side. So opposite elbow coming outside of your knee, keeping a beak on that knee, and then opening up that chest. Just 3 nice long breaths here. Use the inhale to twist open, to wring out. The exhale to settle in and push down a little bit lower. Just 2 more rounds. Big inhale and exhale. 1 more big breath in. And forward fold, release down. Let's toe those feet out wide again for a nice wide forward fold. You can take ragdoll again here or gorilla by putting your palms underneath your feet. Again, shaking out that head, bending into those knees, shaking out those hips. A few rounds here. Release that bind in your feet, toe heeling your feet back together. Nice and slow, rolling up. Rolling back our shoulders, coming down, back into our mountain pose, just settling in. Maybe closing your eyes here. We're gonna do some balancing. So just taking the first few moments, the first few breaths to just kind of center back in. We've been twisting, we've been up and down. Now it's just time to quiet down. So feel those 4 corners of your feet engaging into the earth, your body feeling tall and strong and centered. And let's start with our tree. So focusing in on that left leg, so shifting your weight over into your left leg. We're gonna start with our tree on the right. So you can take your foot just here to your nice kickstand or to your calf, or maybe all the way up into your inner thigh if that's what feels good for you today. Wherever it is, just be nice and comfortable wherever you are. And take your time, maybe your hands come into your heart center. Kind of really opening up our hips here. Big breath in. And big breath out, focusing our drishti on that one point that's not moving in front of us. Maybe growing our branches, reaching up and out. Again, feeling that length through our body, so growing tall and strong. Big breath in and out. Inhale. And exhale, coming down through your tree, coming back through your roots and settling down. Staying there for as long as you need it, releasing whenever you're ready, maybe a little wiggle. We're going to stay rooted into that left leg, and we're just going to move into our dancer onto the right. So now we're going to take maybe our left hand to our hip, right hand comes back, and we're going to take our hand up and around, so almost like we're either hitchhiking or taking a nice swim backwards, so we can grab the inside edge of our foot here. So you're really just grabbing your hand. If you grab that outside, just move them to the inside. You can just stay here for a nice quad stretch, just focusing in, finding that drishti point, maybe releasing that hand up into your dancer. Big breath in. If you like some more expansion, you can push back into that leg, maybe find some forward movement, again, whatever feels good for you. Inhale and exhale. Big breath in. And then slowly release. Maybe take a nice swim back. Nice little wiggle. And release down. Coming back into our heart center, coming back into our Tadasana, our nice mountain pose, just for a breath or two, as we begin to shift our weight over to the right-hand side. So taking that right foot now, engaging, we're going to take our tree over to the other side. So now we're opening up that opposite hip. Again, finding your space, whether it's that kickstand, inside your calf, or inside your inner thigh. We just want to make sure that we're staying away from that knee. We don't want to be putting any pressure on our knee from that ankle. So finding your space, big inhale. Finding that drishti, that point that's in front of us, that we can focus in on. Coming back to your breath. Again, zipping up through your core, feeling strong. Expanding your arms whenever you're ready. Feeling tall and strong, rooting down. Big breath in and out. Stay for one more round. Then coming back in and releasing down. Get a little shake or a wiggle. And again, keeping that focus on that strong right leg rooting down. We're going to move into dancer onto this side. So again, maybe that hand comes up to your hip, rooting down, taking that left leg up over the back. Remember again, grabbing that inside edge of that foot. Staying right here. Breathing in. And then finding your expansion, whatever that might look like for you today. Maybe it's right here, maybe it's just simply releasing up, maybe taking a bind with your fingertips, maybe pushing back, or settling in. Finding that drishti. 2 rounds. Then releasing down. Settling back, big breath in, rise up, hands through heart center. Big breath in. Inhale to rise. Swan dive down to the earth. Taking your hands down, just relaxing in a forward fold. Oops. Lost my AirPod. Just relaxing in a nice forward fold here. Then we're going to bend our knees. And then just come back down to our mats. So we're going to come back down to our mats. We're going to grab a block that's nearby and move into some of our back bends. So just placing our bodies back down to our mats, releasing down, taking our feet close to our bum, almost where we can tickle the back of our heels with our fingertips. Big breath in and out. Now, if you have that block handy today, I invite you just to put that in between your inner thighs here. So you can just kind of engage, make sure that we're pushing in through our inner thighs, through our back bend. So we're going to hold here. We're going to kind of come up, in and out of our back bend with our breath. So exhale all that air out of your belly. Then inhale, rise up your hips, pushing, engaging into your core. Again, pushing through those thighs, rolling up over your shoulder blades. And then exhale, nice and lower back down to the mat. Inhale, rise up through bridge pose. Filling up, pushing through those inner thighs, pulling up those core, rolling over your shoulders. Exhale down, nice and slow. Inhale up through bridge pose. Now this time we're going to hold here, so really pushing through. Now we're going to take a bound bridge, so just slowly bringing one shoulder blade and the other underneath your back. Taking a nice clasp of your hands, pinkies down to the mat. Inhale to hold. We're going to hold here for 3. Big inhale. For 2. Nice big inhale. Rise up to your biggest expression. And then slowly roll those shoulders out. Release that bind. Nice and gentle with your back, one vertebrae at a time. You can take that block out in front of you, in between your thighs. Just push it off to the side. We're going to grab a hold of it later. And maybe take a nice little pencil stretch here. So the legs nice and long, hands up overhead. Fill up. Expand through that belly. Big breath in. And big breath out. Then we're going to come back into a nice little ball here, maybe taking a nice little rock side to side. And then we're going to slowly, gently open up to our hips to our Supta Baddha Konasana. So the soles of our feet together, your knees nice and wide. And we'll just stay here for a few breaths. You take your left hand to your belly. Left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly for 3 rounds. Maybe closing your eyes. Or feel free, if you want, a little bit more opening, taking your hands up overhead. One more round of breath. Wherever you are, we're going to take our hands slowly outside of our knees and close them nice and gently like a book. And then coming back into that place where we plant our feet back down into our mat. So we're going to continue on with our hip opener, staying here onto our backs for our figure four. So we're going to stay here, and then we're going to start on the right hand side. So taking that leg up nice and high, and then flexing the toes across those over our legs for our figure four. Taking our arms and threading those through our legs, right in the back of our thigh, flexing into our toes, and using our elbows to really push into that opposite knee. And opening up our hips. You can stay here, pull your knee closer into your chest, maybe rock side to side. Pushing and opening up that hip. Holding here, pushing through for a few rounds of breath. Big breath in and out. One more round. And then we're going to slowly unwind, taking your feet back down to the earth, planting your feet, hands back down, and then we'll take that over to the other side. So opposite leg comes up and over, flexing into your toes. Again, threading your hands through your opposite leg, taking a bind behind your thigh. Figure four. Bending into those knees, taking that elbow, pushing it against your knee to kind of open up that hip. Holding here for 3 to 5 rounds of breath. One or two more breath cycles. Slowly releasing the bind, coming back into a nice ball. Maybe taking a rock side to side to release your lower back. And then moving into our happy baby. So taking your knees coming into your armpits and grabbing the inside or the outside edge of your toes, bending into your legs, using your arms to pull your feet and your legs into your core. Maybe rock side to side. Closing our eyes here, coming back to that breath. Maybe extend one side and then the other. One more round of breath. Inhale. And exhale, release down, bringing into that ball. And we're going to come back into that bridge, and if you have that block, and if you want to go for an inversion using your block, let's go for that today. So coming back into that bridge pose, with your hands here, and just lifting up and taking that block, just placing it underneath your sacrum, your lower back here. Placing your hands down to the earth and sending your feet up the wall for your inversion. If you don't have a block handy, that's fine. You can just stay right here onto your mat. You can even actually grab a hold of the wall if you just want to find some stability laying back in there. We're just going to hold here for inversion for a few rounds of breath, allowing the chi in our body to move, change directions, to float from our feet into our heart. You close your eyes here, grounding down, keeping your hands planted heavy onto the earth, or maybe allowing them to rise with your shoulders still connected to the earth and just allowing your arms to feel heavy into a bug pose. Staying here. Two more rounds of breath. Nice and slow. Coming back to that thought, that phrase that we began our practice with, or just focusing in on your breath. So begin to slow our bodies down and release into the earth. You can stay here in your inversion or slowly come out by bending your knees. Tops of your toes down to the earth. Maybe lifting up that back and removing that block off to the side. And coming back into that center, to your core. So taking your hands on to your thigh, into your legs, coming into a nice ball. Your forehead to touch your knees. Then we'll just open up our backs, let's do our left leg long, holding on to your right knee. Releasing down to the mat. And then taking that knee and crossing it over our body for a nice supine twist. Keeping our shoulders down onto the earth just like they were in our inversion. Either goalposting your arms here, sending them out long to a T. Keeping your eyes closed. Or sending your gaze in the opposite direction. Holding here for 3 breaths. Coming back in towards your center, coming back into that ball, maybe a nice rock side to side, maybe taking time to roll out your knees, taking them nice and wide in opposite directions for a few breaths. Now reversing that direction of your knees and just rolling them out in the other direction, kind of making sure we're open up those hips. Coming back into your core. And let's take that twist onto the other side. So holding that left leg, so that right leg long. And then flopping over. Again, keeping those shoulders down to the earth, taking those out to a T or a goalpost. Closing your eyes or sending your gaze into the opposite direction. Twisting in, rinsing out. Two more rounds of breath. Rolling back into the core. Taking any final movements that are calling for you, maybe those hip circles again, maybe just a straight side to side. Anything else that might be calling for you before we move into our final resting place. If you're ready, let's come back into that ball and really kind of engage it this time. So taking again your forehead into your knees, maybe taking the palms into your toes and really just holding each one of those muscles super tight. Big breath in and hold, 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 hold. Flexing those muscles, feeling all that strength, holding all that energy in. And then slowly release down. Legs long. Feet flop open, hands and arms down to your sides, palms up to the sun, allowing your fingertips to just gently curl. Releasing your shoulders, your back down to the earth. Big breath in and out. Shavasana. Staying here in your Shavasana for as long as you need. And if you're ready, slowly arrive back onto your mat, deepening your breath, and then gently rolling over onto your favorite side. Bringing your knees into your chest for a nice fetal position, taking a moment or two to be grateful here. Big inhale and exhale. Then gently using one of your hands, keeping your eyes closed or a gentle gaze, we're going to come into a nice comfortable seat. So you can just cross your legs here, coming onto your sit bones, rolling your shoulders back. Big inhale, rising your arms up high. And then hands into heart. Exhale. One more big inhale. And nice long exhale. Taking your hands up to our third eye. For enjoying our sun salutations today, for taking all the good that we need. And exhaling anything that doesn't serve us. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Namaste. Namaste. See you soon. Bye.